Hello everyone, so we're back in with our more content trivia, and today I'm continuing my tier list for each class before I start getting to a monthly tier list, because I just want you guys to have like a reference for why each character is in the tier that they're in. And yeah, there's just so many changes in the game, I feel like I just had to break it up, and it just made sense to do it class by class. And before we get into the actual tier list, let's go over the emojis real quick, because you know, you got a lot of emojis here. Yeah, they all... With the star, if you see the star, that means they want to be awakened. If you see the arm, that means they want high sig. And then if you see the arm, obviously I didn't put a star, like, because yeah, they want to be awakened. It just wants to be high sig, so it kind of just cancels the star out. So yeah, if you see the arm, it also just means that they want to be awakened. If you see the skull, that means they benefit from recoils. When I say benefit from recoils, I mean they either have immunities to bleed or poison. They can heal back from the bleed or poison, like solid regen as well. Or if they just don't need to throw a lot of special attacks, then they kind of just get that flat 40% attack rating from the recoil masters. And also, if they just benefit from having a bleed or a poison on them, then I count that as a benefit. If they benefit from recoils. Also benefits from relic. You got the little Stonehenge guy. And now, while all champions benefit from relics, I just wanted to note out the ones that really benefit from the relics, that like almost turn into a completely different champion. If you see the shield, that means they're a really good defender, and if you see two shields, that means they're one of the best defenders in the game. The heart means that they have like really good synergies, and if you see the guy with the shades, that just means they require a little bit of skill to play, or at least a bit more knowledge than most other champions. And if you see like the little sweaty guy emoji, that just means personal bias, because you know we all have different feelings towards champions. You know, we like some, we don't like some, and it's different with all of us. And I just want to make sure I'm able to note my personal biases if I think I am biased in some ways. And if you see this guy, the little hands together emoji, that means I'm just unsure. Please help me in the comments below. If you see the thumbs up, that means I'm thinking about promoting them. If you see a thumbs down, that means I'm thinking about demoting them. And if you're not going to see any of these three in this video, because technically they would all have this one, because they're technically all new entries. But going forward, if you see the blue arrow going up, that means I promoted them. If you see the blue arrow going down, I've demoted them. And if you see this one with them going both, that means it is a new champion, or a new buff, or a nerf. So yeah, with that getting said, let's also go over the tiers real quick. And yeah, Beyond God tier, these are just the best characters in the game, hands down. They do so much. The God tier is like just a step below Beyond God tier. Like, they're still really good champions. Will definitely make your day if you pull them, but they're just a step below these guys. And then the Amazing are just some really solid champions. They go above and beyond. They could do what you need them to do. They're still phenomenal champions. Great, it's just kind of like your average champions. Like, yeah, you get them, they're good, they could do what you need, and not really much else. Mid is just kind of mid. You know, it's just mid champions. They're below average, but could be worse. And trash, welcome to the worst. So there's not actually a lot of trash champions in the mutant class. They're all at least kind of solid. Yeah, there's just a lot in these middle tiers, right? Like, yeah, there's just a lot of champions in the middle tiers. Like, mutant is a pretty solid overall. Like, I'd say it's probably one of the most balanced classes in the game. But yeah, let's go over Beyond God tier real quick. And I mean, I think these are all just no-brainers. You got Domino, who's just been a carry for the mutant class for like the longest time, and she is a really good defender. She has a nice synergy with Red Hulk and Massacre, but she doesn't need them. I just wanted to note that because it's still a really strong trinity even today. Magneto, so he just can completely counter like a third of the game, or like 20% of the game, which if you can counter a solid chunk of the game, like in terms of like the champions, yeah, you're probably gonna be Beyond God tier. The only thing I will say about Magneto is, with all the tech champions that are coming out, it seems like, you know, more and more of them are just going to completely be able to bypass his ability accuracy reduction. So in like maybe a year or two, you could definitely see Magneto go down a bit. But I mean, right now he's still really strong, especially if you're a beginner. He is going to absolutely shut down so many really annoying fights. As long as they're metal, there's a good chance Magneto's just going to be able to completely shut them down. Mr. Sinister and Onslaught. I mean, these guys are just like two more carries of the mutant class, and they're like pretty recent, with Onslaught coming out last year. Did he come out last year? No, that was Isofiend. Damn it. Onslaught's been in the game for actually a while. I didn't even realize that. And then you got Mr. Sinister with his buff. And yeah, it's arguable whether or not, like, who's the best mutant in the game. I think it's Onslaught, but I mean, like, Sinister is also still really good. And yeah, they're both just phenomenal champions, king and other king of the mutant class. Let's say that. Now let's go into the God tier. We have Apocalypse, who, especially as a 7-star, I think he definitely belongs in God tier, especially on defense. If you put in the Pierce stat focus, like, he is just going to be doing so much damage into your block. He's going to be really annoying, and I've always loved Apocalypse. I think he's a phenomenal champion. So yeah, he is definitely God tier worthy in my opinion. Archangel. I'm actually thinking about promoting Archangel. I mean, especially with Dark Phoenix coming into the game, Archangel is one of her best counters, and I think, and you got people like that are just bringing back Archangel to counter that one champion. And yeah, I mean, Archangel is already just good enough on his own. He's got the little heart because he's really good as a horseman from Apocalypse. And yeah, I just think Archangel is a phenomenal champion. He's definitely coming back into the meta, in my opinion. So I could definitely see him getting a promotion. Same thing with Blue Team Cyclops. So the buff's been out for, you know, I think over a month now. And yeah, he just seems like he's going to stay like a solid champion. I still keep seeing good things about him. I can definitely see him also getting a promotion when I do my next tier list. Dazzler. So Dazzler is a really good character. She counters a lot of BS in my opinion, especially some of those really annoying skill defenders. She wants a high sig though, because she kind of has like a Namor ability where she can ignore damage while attacking. So I definitely think it's worth it to invest in her sig level. But yeah, Dazzler, really solid champion, especially if you got her from like the platinum track last year. Then yeah, you are probably pretty satisfied with Dazzler. Deadpool X-Force. So I love all the Deadpools. Deadpool is one of my favorite fictional character of all time. I love Deadpool, and yeah, especially with Deadpool X-Force's buff that he got last December. He is just such a great champion. I'm a little biased towards him, but I have seen videos of him just absolutely destroying fights, and he has a new thing called a Shableed debuff, which he could basically bleed immune champions. And I just think that's like so insane. It makes him useful for like almost any fight, and I kind of want to promote him just because, once again, I love Deadpool. I'm so excited that there's finally a usable Deadpool in this game. But even outside of that, he's still a really good champion who could just absolutely melt fights. And just the fact that he can bleed immune champions is just super crazy. So let me know what you guys think. Should I promote Deadpool X-Force into the Beyond God tier along with Archangel and Blue Cyclops? Let me know. Alright, another character that's kind of like jumped up in my opinion from like amazing to God tier recently is because of Dark Phoenix. Iceman is also one of her better counters because he is just straight up immune to Nova Flames, which is probably the most annoying thing about Dark Phoenix. And yeah, I mean, still, even outside of Dark Phoenix, he's still a solid champion. But especially with Dark Phoenix being so meta, you know, Iceman being her best counter, I think that definitely brings him up from amazing to God tier. So yeah, that's why I have Iceman in God tier instead of amazing. Kitty Pryde is probably one of the most broken characters in the game. However, what stops her from being beyond God tier is that there's just a lot in the game that Kabam has put in place to kind of stop you from wanting to use Kitty Pryde. So I kind of think if Kabam is going to hold her back, then I should hold her back. Still a really good champion. If there's probably one of the best characters in the game. If there's nothing really in her way to stop her from like going invisible or missing. But yeah, outside of that, Kitty Pryde's still really good. Requires a little bit of skill to play, but yeah, once you kind of get the hang of her, she is so unstoppable. Alright, another character who has been like one of the top mutants for the longest time is Omega Red, and he is probably one of the most recoil-friendly champions in the game. And yeah, he requires a little bit of skill to play, but like if you can like manage his death field, his degen, you are just going to be absolutely rolling in just like passive damage, and you'll just like do so much damage. He has some nice immunities as well. And yeah, Mega Red is just really, really good. But I think that he's, as the game has evolved, you got more and more mutant champions that kind of just, in my opinion, were better than him. So I just think these guys are a step above Mega Red. But Mega Red still really good if you can get him to SIG 200. Oh yeah, by the way, you want this guy to SIG 200. He just gets so much flat damage just from his Awakened ability. Like, get every SIG into that guy as possible. He's probably one of the most demanding champions in terms of signature ability. Like, you want every SIG you can into this guy. Alright, another really good character is Professor X, who I definitely think I'm going to get some comments about him being in Beyond God tier, but me personally, I just don't see it. Yes, he's really good. He requires really skill, and if you are really skilled at Professor X, yeah, he's probably unstoppable. But the majority of the player base, I don't think he is Beyond God tier worthy. And I definitely think there's a lot in the game now that can interfere with his flow and play style. So yeah, kind of similar to Kitty Pryde. I think God tier is a solid spot for Professor X. So then we got Strife here, who also has the heart because he has a really, really good Horseman synergy with Apocalypse. And yeah, he's basically just the mutant Aegon. If you can ramp up, he is just so good. And what makes him better than Aegon is that he's not just useful in like things like Necropolis, Labyrinth, Abyss, all that kind of stuff. He can be used in general questing. It's not like his ramp up isn't so demanding. It's kind of just like you use a couple special ones, get 20 telepathic charges, then you get to the special 3, and you bank all that stuff, and you really just gotta do that like 4 times. And yeah, once you get 100 of your charges banked, you could still get another 20 charges and hold on to those. So you could really get like 120 charges, which sounds like a lot, but he ramped up pretty fast. Like you could, in like a standard questing, you could probably ramp him up in just 2 fights or even 1 fight. Like Strife is really good, and yeah, he's just like kind of the mutant Aegon, but he's more useful in other places. All right, Weapon X. So Weapon X is probably a champion that most people don't have, but if you are lucky enough to have him, he is just straight up a really good defender. He does a lot of bleed damage, has a lot of regen, but yeah, you mostly just want to throw him on defense. He's really annoying if you don't have a counter to him, because he'll just go unstoppable, unblockable, have all these crazy regens. But I mean, if you have Lady Deathstrike, you just basically turn Weapon X off. There's just nothing he does if you have Lady Deathstrike. But outside of that, I mean, like, yeah, there's still not a lot of really hard counters to him. I think just the unstoppable and the unblockable is probably like his most annoying thing, because most people probably also run Despair, which kind of turns off his regen. But I mean, yeah, he's still just a really annoying character. But yeah, what keeps him from being in Beyond God tier is that just like, I don't think he has that much attack prowess. Like, yeah, he has a crazy amount of bleeds, but it just requires so much ramp up, and it's almost impractical to me. Yeah, so that's why Weapon X is in God tier. He's just such a crazy defender. Gentle. Honestly, I used to have Gentle in Great, and then like as I was doing this, I just kept seeing more and more from Gentle, and I put him in here, and then I saw a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this doesn't do him justice. He doesn't belong with these guys. He belongs with these guys. And yeah, I'm so upset that I didn't get Gentle from my Titan Crystal opening, but hopefully I get him soon, because Gentle is such a crazy champion. Yeah, if you don't know why Gentle's in God tier, you're definitely sleeping on him, and I would definitely suggest, checking out some gameplay. Like, there is a lot he can do. And as you can see, he doesn't have any emojis, because Gentle is just good on his own without any help, like, you could pull him straight out of the crystal, and he is just so insane. Yeah, that's about it. That's enough gentle glazing. Alright, then we got Bishop here. Bishop is just a really solid character. He's a really, really good defender. Still pretty annoying if you don't have a specific counter to him. He does a lot on attack as well. He can counter some really annoying skill characters. Like, he's just a really nice above and beyond mutant champion. Same thing with Colossus. I really like Colossus. He has a bit of a unique playstyle, but he can dish out so much damage. He's super tanky as well. I love Colossus. And he's got a nice trinity with Emma Frost and Omega Red that can just make his ramp up super, super fast, and also can give him like more attack, more combat power rate. Like, he is just amazing, and he wants that high sig as well. Like, I personally love Colossus, so that's why I gave him like the little bias logo. But I think, you know, this is the perfect spot for Colossus. Yeah. Alright, next up is Havoc, who I'm actually thinking about demoting just because, I don't know, I feel like there's just so many crazy mutant champions, and he's kind of getting outshined in my opinion. Yeah, but he's still got like a really, really good defender prowess, because if you do not have a counter to him, he will just flat out die. Because you're probably not going to be able to kill him fast enough before he can just kill you with all that plasma detonation. So, yeah, if you don't have a counter to him, Havoc is probably going to ruin your day. Jean Grey. So, I'm still a little bit unsure with Jean Grey. I still don't really exactly know how she works and all that she can do. I do know her signature ability is pretty good, and I actually almost got her from Titan Crystal. I opened up a Titan Nexus, and it was like Spiral, Jean Grey, and Spider-Woman. I chose Spider-Woman. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. I hope it wasn't, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to do a little bit more research into her for next time, but, you know, in the comments, let me know. Do you guys like Jean Grey? Do you guys really, really like her? Or do you guys really not like her? Let me know. And that could definitely sway my decision. Alright, next up we got the White Magneto. So White Magneto is a really solid champion. He's mostly useful for his synergies, so I should probably give him the heart. Like, his pre-fight is super, super useful for a lot of times. And a lot of times, if I'm just like, I don't know who else to bring in like a team. Like, if I got everything covered on a path, I'll just bring in a White Magneto, which can make things a lot more easier. And yeah, he's really good. Next up, we got Namor, who I'm actually thinking about promoting. I think Namor is really, really slept on. You do want him max sig though. Like, there's no in between. There's no sig 180 or 190. You want 200, just because once he's attacking, he completely ignores 100% of damage if he's max sig, and he will actually throw that onto the opponent. So this could actually make him a really good counter against like Korg, Atuma, Mephisto, just anyone who has a lot of thorns damage, or will do damage to you if you hit them. And this could also make him basically pseudo immune to debuffs like damage over time effects, because if he has a bunch of damage over time effects, and as long as he's attacking, he will just kind of ignore the damage and actually put it onto the opponent. Like, I just think Namor, there's a lot he can do, and I think he's very, very slept on. You know, he's very, very underrated in my opinion. Negasonic, she's a really good, solid character as well. Does a lot of incendiary damage, is probably one of the best bullseye, if not the best bullseye counter in the game. And with Bullseye being such a crazy defender, I feel like I got to bump her up from great to amazing. But even outside of Bullseye, like I said, she does a lot of incendiary damage. She's got a lot of utility. She's pretty annoying on defense as well. So, yeah, there's a lot going in Negasonic's favor. Nightcrawler, after the buff, is a really, really good champion. I really enjoy playing him now. Like, there's just a lot Nightcrawler can do now. He definitely is more worth it to play now. And as always, Nightcrawler is still much a pain on defense with all of his evading. Northstar is also a pain in the ass on defense in my opinion. He's just got like so many crazy special attacks with all of his hits and everything, and sometimes things register or don't register, and kind of, I know I'm not alone in this, but Northstar just kind of fucks me up a bit. But he's also pretty underrated as well, and so yeah, most people probably have him in like this half of the tier list. I actually think he's a pretty solid character, and especially if you're in something like Necropolis or Abyss, he is actually even better. Like, he is definitely a champion who's suited for like long form content. But yeah, I think Northstar is really good. Alright, next up we got Sauron, who I think is an underrated champion. He's really good with recoils because he can reduce the bleed potency, and he's immune to poison. He's really annoying on defense, but I also just think he has a lot of utility on attack that most people don't talk about. Like, yeah, there's probably a lot of champions doing better, but he just has so much utility. I'm always finding Sauron being kind of useful in places where I'm just like, damn, I don't have anything for this, and I'm like, oh wait, I got Sauron. Yeah, Sauron's just my guy. Whenever I need something, good, like 9 times out of 10, Sauron can probably do it and has like something in his kit that counters the thing I need. And I just keep figuring that out. Like, I really like Sauron, and that's why he's got the little personal bias, because yeah, he's probably not the best champion, but I got a little soft spot for him. He's got me out of a sticky situation. Next up, we got Storm OG, who has the little heart there because it has a really good horseman ability with Apocalypse, and just, you know, Storm is just a really good mutant champion who can output a lot of DPS with all of her shock damage and prowesses, and yeah, she's just crazy. Sunspot is another character who's just all about that damage. He doesn't really have a lot of utility. He is just a absolute powerhouse. Once you get like a couple special ones, your special 2 is just gonna hit like a massive truck. And especially if you have the 7-star, put on that precision stat focus so you can like get more crits. Because the one thing that was kind of holding Sunspot back is that you really wanted the big SP2 crit. And if you didn't get it, he kind of didn't feel as rewarding. But especially as a 7-star with stat focus, you definitely noticed like a big increase on getting that big special 2 crit. So yeah, I think Sunspot, if he wasn't a 7-star, he'd probably be great. But since he is a 7-star, and he's actually been like in the base pool for like ever, so yeah, Sunspot I definitely think gets a bump up for that stat focus. All right, next up we got Cable, who also has a heart here, but it's not because he has a horseman synergy with Apocalypse. He actually just straight up has the synergy with Apocalypse. And yeah, it just allows him to stack on so much degeneration, which is like the best damage over time effect in the game, because there's not really a lot of characters who are immune to, or I don't think there's any champion who's immune to degeneration, but there's some characters in the science class who can reduce it. But I mean, Cable, just with the Apocalypse synergy, is a monster, but he doesn't have a lot of utility. And because he's reliant on a synergy and he's ass without it, I don't think I can put him any higher than great. Danny Moonstar is just like an average character. She's got like some like niche utility, and I think she is a bit fun to play with her falter. But aside from that, she's kind of just more annoying on defense than as a good attacker. Same thing with Emma Frost. Yeah, that's about it with Emma Frost. Old Man Logan, he's a solid attacker. I personally like Old Man Logan, but I don't think he's anything like amazing. Same thing with Rogue, same thing with Sabretooth. Sabretooth is fun with synergies and could actually maybe be like up here with a full synergy team, but without it, I think he's just great. I just wanted to note that he has some pretty solid synergies. Same thing with Pyramid X. You got the Horseman team with Apocalypse, can make her really good, but without it, she's kind of meh. Toad, he's more so just really annoying on defense, where you just want a specific counter to him, and that specific counter to him just being a poison immune champion. And yeah, if you have poison immunity, you pay basic. Toad's just like a normal opponent. He doesn't really do anything special outside of poison you. And there's a lot of champions who are poison immune. Wolverine's actually really solid with his regeneration. Like, you basically can't die with his regeneration. You definitely want him like sig really high. Just so you can get that massive regen. But he's also good with he's really good with his own relic, of course, and with the Apocalypse Horseman team up, he's able to do crit bleeds, which actually turn him into a bit of a powerhouse. So, I mean, as long as you have a Horseman Wolverine, he's pretty solid. Could probably belong in one of the I'd say even God tier, but without it, he's not the best. He's probably like right here. So, I might promote Wolverine to amazing as long as he has the Horseman team up, but yeah, that'll be for a different day. Another champion I'm thinking about promoting is Dust, just because of how annoying she is on defense. She's definitely one of those defenders who just do a lot of BS damage on you, and yeah, I hate Dust. Captain Britain. So Captain Britain is really mid right now, but I think after her buff, she's probably gonna be God tier at least, because yeah, she's gonna be another 5 out of 5 defender, which we all love. I know I love myself a good 5 out of 5 defender. It makes the game super fun to play. But yeah, that's Captain Britain. Don't really want to talk. You know, she's mid right now, but I think we can just brush over her because she's gonna get buffed like pretty soon. And like I said, she's probably going to land in God tier, beyond God tier. Deadpool OG. So, I'm just going to talk about the Deadpools real quick. I'm kind of biased toward them because, you know, as I said, Deadpool is my favorite fictional character of all time. But I do think what keeps him out of trash is that, well, first off, Deadpool OG, he has really, really good regeneration. He has the best regen in the game if you have him awaken at high sig. And, yeah, he doesn't do any damage whatsoever. But, like, he basically can't die unless you, like, really, really suck. Like, he can heal back any chip damage. He can heal back from, like, any mistake as long as it's not fatal. Like, I think he's solid, and that's what keeps him out of trash. Gold pool, you know, with the horseman team, like, as a horseman, I actually think Gold pool's a pretty solid champion who can, like, stun lock some opponents. So that's why I'm keeping him out of trash. And Platinum pool, he is super, super RNG based, but I think if you get the right cards, he can actually do a lot of really good stuff. So that's also keeping him out of trash. Gambit's kind of mid. Like, he doesn't really do anything. It's just, you just get your 10 prowesses, then you do a big special 2. He's really good with his own relic, of course. Honestly, I'm thinking about demoting Jubilee. Like, when I could look at these guys, like, yeah, they're pretty bad, but Jubilee is... I feel like she belongs in trash. And then Psylocke. So Psylocke is, once again, a mid character, hence why she's in mid. But her power control is actually not that bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. So that's keeping her out of trash, just because, you know, power control is super, super good in this game. Because then opponents don't use special attacks, and I love it when my opponent does not use special attacks. Now, for trash, I'm just going to talk about these guys all at the same time. They don't really do anything in the game. We know X-23 is going to get a buff next year. She was the Community's Choice Champion. And I hope it's really good, like what we got with Cyclops. But yeah, speaking of Cyclops, Red Cyclops, yeah, he just doesn't do anything in the game. He's not good on defense or anything. Beast, not good on defense or attack. Like, he's just super, super easy to fight. Like, these guys all don't do anything on attack and are super easy defenders. So that's why they're trash. They don't do anything. But yeah, that is the mutant tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who would you buff, or I mean, who would you promote? Who would you demote? And just overall thoughts on any kind of champion. If you have any strong feelings, let me know why. And I'll definitely consider this for and update it for next time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I only got skill left, and that's actually probably going to be uploaded tomorrow. So we're going to finish the tier list series tomorrow probably. Goodbye.